Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mike Ferris, and I'm going to be getting started on this pre-stretched 8x10 canvas. And I've got my image already laid out, as you can see, and I've used wax transfer paper to transfer this image. And you can find this traceable down in the description box, and also a short video on how I transfer this image to my canvas. So right here I'm going to do a black background using my number 12 flat brush. So I'm just going to start with permanent black on my palette here. And I'm going to load both sides of the brush, and I'm just going to start filling in everywhere around all of these bokeh lights that I've got laid out and these city different shapes here. And I didn't do all the bokeh light layout because I wanted to leave some that would have the black show through some of it to give that transparent look on some of it. But for the brightest ones, I left open because with acrylics, if you do light colors over dark, it takes a little while, and I didn't want to spend the time and of course all the paint trying to get something bright against a black background. So as you can see, I can use the edge of the brush real nice and also the corner to get around these lights very well this way. And if you don't have a nice flat brush with all the bristles intact, I recommend using an angle brush that has the little tip on the end and all those other brushes angled out of the way for you, and that will get in here just fine. But as you can see, I'm not too concerned with getting perfect circles and getting everything intact. Like this has a little bit of black inside of it, but not a big deal because I'm going to fuzz this out. Okay, so now that I've got my background all laid out and dried, I'm going to reload up my palette now, and for my colors I have permanent black, raw umber, burnt umber, violet, phthalo blue, cadmium red. This is magenta red, which is more vibrant of a red, cad yellow, light portrait pink, and titanium white as always. So I'm going to pre-make some colors. I'm going to take some cad yellow with my knife here, and I'm going to take just a touch of burnt umber into that just to dull it back. And I'm going to take quite a bit of white to that so that I get this very light, dull, creamy yellow color. And so I'll just mix this up and scoop her up like this and just lay it off to the side. And I'm going to go again with some more yellow. And basically I'm going to make the same color, but I'm going to add this time a little bit more burnt umber to that. Not much, and then not quite as much white, so it's going to be the same cream yellow color, but as you can see it's more saturated as it has less white in it. And I'll just set that next to that. And now I'm going to take some raw umber, just a teeny bit, and as you can see mostly cad yellow into that. And so this is going to give us a different type of value now, and some titanium white to that. And now some burnt umber to that, because I want to add this brown hue to it. So essentially I'm looking for this light muted brown color like so. And I'll go ahead and scoop that and set this right like so. So I've got those three values made now. Okay, and now I want to get phthalo blue and some raw umber mixed together. And to that I want to take some cad yellow. And this is going to be a very dull muted turquoise color. So I'm just going to mix that up, and you can see quite a bit of white that I'm adding to that. I want this very light muted turquoise color like I said, and I'll get this in place here. And now for the other cream color, light yellow, I'm going to take again cad yellow, and this time a pin drop of black, and that really dulls that yellow down to a different value. And now mostly titanium white to that. And as you can see, it's a very light cream yellow color, but it's a little bit different than the first light cream color yellow that I made. So just variations of values. Okay, so I have my natural round bristle brush here. It's a number 2, and you can see those frayed out bristles, and I'm not going to use any water. And I'm going to go into this light muted brown to start off with and tap most of that paint off the brush. And with this brush I can get these nice fuzzy out of focus effects super well with this natural round bristle brush. I highly recommend this brush for this type of painting. And with this I can keep these circles intact and just fuzz it out into that dark value like so. And this is just the start of just laying some stuff out for now. So now I'm going to go ahead and get some of that value again, and I'm going to streak this down, and this is going to be an effect that enhances this out of focus area here. Okay, so I've added to my palette now Cad Orange, and I'm going to take just a teeny bit of this color, and I'm going to mute it down with some of that more saturated cream yellow color, and also to that muted brown color to it as well. So as you can see why I made these colors at first, because it's just easier to mix from there than having to mix everything from scratch, because that just takes too long. So I really wanted to get those laid out first. So now as you can see, I'm just taking the brush and running it over some of that brown value that I did. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit more Cad Orange into the mix without cleaning, and this adds a little bit more color and adds some bright and shine in the distance. Okay, now with a clean brush, I'm going to take some of this muted turquoise and some white to lighten that up. And again, tapping off a lot of that paint. And again, a dry brush. I just want to make sure that I emphasize that when you clean your brush, you do want to dry it completely to get this fuzzy out of focus look. Okay, and so I'm just going to go in with that. And now I'm going to take a little bit of that cream yellow color, and I did not clean my brush. And just going to start laying some of these things in. As you can see, there's a very light paint on the brush, and being that I didn't that I didn't lay out all the bokeh lights, as you can see, with some of that black showing through, it really gives this transparent look, and that is one of the elements in a bokeh painting to give that effect. Okay, no cleaning yet, and I'm going to take this more saturated dull yellow that I made, and I'm going to make it further saturated with more of this Cad Yellow to it to brighten it up and really bring out some shine on that. And with this, I'm going to place that right up in here. So another cool thing about these natural round bristle brushes is that you can really keep these circles intact by doing this circular motion with it, and it really keeps things from getting too out of whack. Okay, now going to that light cream dull yellow color now, and again not cleaning my brush. And I'm going to go ahead and place one up here as well. Okay, so with that dull turquoise color here, I'm going to streak in something of a building little thing here. And as you can see with the different angles of everything pointing in, it's like this vanishing point perspective so that it gives us the right angle on everything. So it looks like you're looking down the street and seeing things the way they would. So again, the traceable is available if you'd like help with the drawing process, but I do recommend if you want to get this perspective to make sure that your lines and angles are pointing in the right way. Okay, so now I took that dull yellow cream color and let's add some of that right in here. Okay, no cleaning necessary. I'm going to take this dull turquoise, and to that I'm going to add just a touch of Phthalo Blue just to change the value up a little bit. And with this, I want to add a little bit more Cad Yellow to warm that up and bring out more of a green tint to it. So it makes it a little bit more saturated this way and changes up the value a bit. And let's put some of that right in here. And no cleaning, just picking up titanium white, and just want to add some bright shine to this. And I don't want to take over all that turquoise color that I put down, but see, I just want to fade that out. So if I take the brush like this and just sort of feather that out, I can really blend that out and really make this shine and give it more of a dramatic bokeh effect this way. Okay, so I'm going to take that dull cream color again, as you can see, and where I wanted it the heaviest in the middle there, and then as I get out here, I just want to take the brush on its side and feather it out again into that turquoisey color, and that really adds more of a dramatic effect to the bokeh And now I want to take some Cad Yellow and Blue together, and this will add more of a green tint. And I want to dull that down with some of this light turquoise green that I made, just a little bit into that. So just these little changes here make all the difference. As you can see, the values change, and in a way we can manipulate how bright these city lights are when we put these different values together around those bright whites. And it really brings out a shine and glow, and it also enhances the bokeh effect just that much more. Okay, taking some titanium white without cleaning, and I just want to go in here and throw this around a little bit. And again, very little paint on the brush, and I can't say it enough, a very dry brush, no water at all, and this is what keeps that fuzzy and blended gradient and bokeh effect alive. If you start putting water in, it's going to start making solid lines, and you lose that out of focus effect that way. So just very light paint at a time, and I can really get these in here and just sort of blend that over. As you can see, it really shines it up. Okay, so let's get that dull yellow cream color, and in here I just want to block that in. So I'll load up a little bit more paint just so I can get this area filled in, and then again, as paint runs off the brush, I can dust it out into that other dark value there. Okay, so now getting Cad Orange and some of that muted brown together a little bit, and I can go outside a little bit, and let's get now this more saturated dull yellow, and just start placing these things here and there and mixing this up a bit. You can pretty much blend this however. There's just adding some oranges and yellow tones that I made and some of this dull brown involved, and you can just sort of play this back and forth, and it's really again all about the different effects, and again using these natural round bristle brushes to get that fuzzy out of focus look to everything. So right here I'm just going to sort of fade that along the edges of the yellow there like that. Okay, and now just a teeny touch of black. I just want to go back over some of this where this color sort of came over the black there, and just sort of fade that down. And when I say a little black, I mean just a teeny bit, because you really don't want to cover up your light values with black, or else trying to go back over black with light values is it's possible, but it's kind of a pain because it just takes more values to cover it back over that way. So now I'm just taking more of that cream yellow color and just adding some more stuff. So as you can see here, all this bokeh effect, how these natural round bristle brushes really do that for you. You don't even have to really try. It's just no water, a little paint at a time, and voila, you can get these effects so nice this way with these brushes. Absolutely love these brushes for this. Okay, so now I'm getting some of this Magenta Red, that's my vibrant red there, and I'm just going to take it straight as it is, no mixing with anything at the moment. And I'm just going to pretty much block in some areas of this part here. You can see those fuzzy lines I'm leaving there as I bring it out. And we'll just do something like that and keep that angle on that red on the bottom there, as you saw. That keeps that vanishing point perspective alive. Okay, so now with some of that Cad Red, sorry, where am I? It's a little bit of raw umber into that to dull it back, and some white, as you can see there. And I'm just tapping off again some of that paint, and I'm just filling in some more areas of this area here like so. Okay, so going back to more Magenta Red now, and I haven't cleaned my brush, and I'm just going to fill this in and sort of fade this into that other muted light red color that I made here. And again, blending, 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 and keeping those fuzzy lines going, and in turn giving that bokeh out of focus effect all day long. Okay, some more of that Magenta Red, and just dragging that up like so. So without cleaning now, just taking titanium white and again tapping off a lot of the paint. And I just want to brighten up this area and just add some shine to it like so. Okay, and more Magenta Red, I want to add another bokeh light of that right here. Okay, let's take some Phthalo Blue now. And I'm going to take just a touch of this dull turquoise color to it. And to that some titanium white to brighten that a bit. Actually quite a bit. It's this very light just a little dulled down turquoise color. And see, as I get out here, I'm just going to fuzz that out into that dark value as I block it in. And of course, in blocking this in, I put the paint in the middle of this object first so that it would be easier to blend this out as paint was running off the brush there. And I'll just take this out and blend it out like so. Okay, without cleaning, I'm going to take now some Phthalo Blue, and of course this is going to make that turquoise dull color that I made more saturated. And I'm going to place this around the edges like this and fade those out, not only into the black but also up into the light color as well. And by doing this, it's going to really enhance this glow and that shine and bring out those city lights that much brighter. Okay, just like that. So now I'm going to take again some more titanium white to lighten this value. And with this similar value as I did with the other one that I blocked in, I'm going to go in right here, and in the same way I'll block this in as I start in the middle, as you see there. And then of course as paint runs off the brush, it's going to be easier to fuzz that out and give that fuzzy out of focus line there, just like this. So after some blue there to enhance that shine, I'm going to take a little bit more white back, and I'm going to play this just a teeny bit back over, and as you can see, it really blends it down and blends the two together. And the more you can blend and the more fuzzy your lines are, the more enhanced your out of focus bokeh effect will be. Okay, so now I'm going to take that light turquoise dull color there. I'm going to lighten it even more with some titanium white. And let's see, I'm going to place this just kind of right in this area like so. Okay, so now I'm going to take some Cad Red now, or not Cad Red, I'm sorry, Magenta Red, and I'm going to take a little Cad Orange to that, and now some titanium white to brighten that up. And I'll load a little bit more paint than normal because I want to come in and block in this area right here, and I'll just basically fill this in, and I'm going to leave those edges alone just like this for a moment. Okay, so now without cleaning, I'm going to take some more Magenta Red, and essentially this darkens this. And I want to take and go around the edges like so. And by giving these darker edges, it's going to serve to brighten up this sign or whatever this is in the city here. So as you can see, I'm taking more Magenta Red now, and this time I'm going in the middle of this darker red that I did, and I'm using my finger to sort of blend that out a little bit. So see, like this, I don't want to take it all the way to the edges, but just kind of keep it in the center of everything I just put in. And in turn, this really helps to enhance that bokeh out of focus look, and it also pops the shine out of there of this, I guess, bright light or restaurant sign or whatever it is. Okay, so I'm going to take that dull turquoise color now, and to that I'm going to add some of this more saturated muted yellow that I made, and also to that I'm going to add some of this Cad Yellow just to warm it up even further. And so with this mixture, I'm going to take and apply this right above this red little glow sign that I made here, and just right on top of it like this. Okay, without cleaning, I'm going to take that duller yellow light color that I made, and I'm not going to go to the edge because I want that edge to serve to make it look like it's more blurred out, and also to add more shine to this light that's above this one here. And so I'll just sort of fade that out and just sort of dust it in like this. Okay, now I'm going to take some Cad Orange here and some Cad Yellow. And to that I'm going to dull that down with some of this raw umber to it. And now I want to take a little bit of this Cad Yellow to warm it up again. So I'll mix these up like so, and now I want to take some of this dull yellow cream color that I made and add that back in. So about something like this, and you don't have to mix these exactly the way I'm doing. Again, it's more about the effects and using those natural round bristle brushes, like I said, to get that out of focus effect. And again, with the round brush, it really helps to keep your circles intact really well this way. Okay, no cleaning. I'm going to take that dull turquoise color and just a little bit of paint on the brush again, and down here just changing up the flavor a little bit, making this more interesting. So now I'm going to take some Cad Red now, and to that I'm going to take a little orange, and now some titanium white. And right here on the very edge, I just wanted to add this in right here. And with that color left on my brush, I'm just going to add that in right here, and I'll come back in and change this and build this up later, but just wanted to get it blocked in this way for now. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this orangey yellow, touch of brown in it sort of color, and let's go over here. I just want to add some stuff in with this. Okay, without cleaning now, just some titanium white, and I just want to brighten this up. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of this raw umber now, a little Cad Orange, and some Cad Yellow, and now some of this muted brown. and a little bit more orange, some titanium white, and a little bit more yellow now to warm that up. So just a little combination of just some lights, or I'm sorry, some warms and some browns and some titanium white. Again, you don't have to do it exactly like I'm doing, but just sort of like this orangey, muted, peachy color like this. Okay, maybe just a little bit more brown in there to dull it back further, a little bit more yellow to warm it up again. And something about like this, and I'll go in here with this. And with that same value, I'm going to go over here on this yellow part here. And again, when you put these different darks against the lights, it really brings out that shine and that glow that much more. Okay, let's pick up some Phthalo Blue now and a lot of titanium white into that. And again, this very light blue color. And I will go ahead and block in with this in the same way that I did the other ones and drag it out again and fade it out into that darker value. And once again, without cleaning, I'm taking more Phthalo Blue. And let's go on the very outside, and I'll fade it out into the dark as well as into the light value as well, and that'll just give this thing even more of a shine to it. Okay, after applying some of that dull turquoise color, I'm going to take some Phthalo Blue now without cleaning, a little bit of titanium white, and some more of that dull turquoise a little bit. And I want to go in now where I just was, and I just sort of want to brighten this up and just kind of make this pop just a little bit more, and I'll place this value in some other places as well. Okay, so without cleaning again, titanium white to brighten this up. And just a little bit of paint on the brush, and I'm going to go in here, and where I want it the brightest, I'll apply it first, and then I'm just going to take and sort of fade over all of this and really give this out of focus look with it. And with that same value, I'm going to go ahead and throw one in right here as well. Okay, now I'm going to go into some Magenta Red now, some titanium white. And I'll just mix this up here. And to that, I'm going to take a little of this Portrait Pink. That changes up the value, of course, a little bit more. And something about like this, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this right here, and as you can see, I'm turning my brush. This is another way to get nice circles with a round brush, and it keeps it intact very well, and it gives me something to work with without it being too big or oblong or getting too out of whack this way. Okay, with a clean dry brush, I'm going to take some of this violet finally, and I'm going to take some titanium white, and it's a very light violet color. And with this, let's block in right here, and again, as I get outside, I just want to dust it out. Okay, without cleaning, I'm just taking some of that muted yellow color there, and I just want to fill in these areas now, and I'll just block them in and again dust out that color. Okay, now I'm just going to take some titanium white, and I just want to brighten up and enhance some of the shine and glow on this. Okay, going back into that magenta red now, and straight up without mixing, I'm going to come back in here, and I just want to brighten up some things and just really enhance this and dust this out as I get into those other lighter values. Okay, with a clean dry brush, I'm going to take titanium white now, and I want to go into the center of some areas and really just make this shine and pop happen and enhance that bokeh and these city lights that are really shining everywhere. And with white, I can get away with just white because white in theory is the presence of all colors. So as you can see with all that titanium white and how that really enhances not only the shine, but how much more of a bokeh effect that created. Okay, with my number 2 flat brush now, I'm going to take titanium white and just a little bit of this more saturated dull cream yellow color. And I'm going to do something here where the bokeh lights overlap one another. So right like so, I'm going to make this wedge that shows up a little bit brighter where the lights are overlapping, and this in turn just makes a very nice effect and adds another element to our bokeh world. Okay, and right here I just want to add some of these bright highlights and just show some of this white that's really zinging through this cluster of lights here. So I'm going to start again where I want it the heaviest, where I want to make kind of these wedge shapes like so. And then with little paint left on the brush, you can see I'm just going to sort of run that over everything that I've done here. And this is going to really take this to the next level with bright and shine, and of course that blurry out of focus. Now back to my number 2 natural round bristle brush. I'm going to take this portrait pink and a touch of this burnt umber into it just to dull it down a little bit. And with this value, I'm going to take and fade this in and give it the appearance of a sidewalk area where all the city lights are reflecting. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this light portrait pink and a little bit of magenta red together. And with this, a little titanium white into it just to bring it up a bit. Okay, and again, my natural round bristle brush here, I'm going to take and apply this color right in here. And with that same value left on my brush, I'm going to take and run that into our sidewalk area like so. And with a little bit of paint left on the brush as well, I'm going to take and run that up into the lights just a little bit, and this blends this in, and it keeps that bokeh alive that much more. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this magenta red with some of that light portrait pink mixture. And with that, I'm going to take and let's put a couple more bokeh things right here. Okay, now I have my number 12 flat brush here, and I'm going to take quite a bit of this Cad Yellow, and I'm going to take some of this Cad Orange to it. And with this, a little bit more of this yellow to it. And now just a little bit of burnt umber to it. So it's this sort of yellow orange with a little dull to it. And I'm just going to load my paint up on that, or my brush up on that I should say, with the paint. And I'm just going to block in the yellow lines now with this. Okay, so a little bit of light portrait pink I'm going to mix into this now, and I'm going to change the value up just a little bit here. I'm going to add a little bit of burnt umber into there just a bit to dull that down a bit. And a little bit of titanium white to brighten that just a little bit. So as you know with acrylics, your first coat's never the final color or your final depth or dimension or any of that. So on top of that first yellow, now I'm going to apply this, and together those two yellows will work together and really bring out the color that I was really going for with these two coats on top of one another. So as you can see with little paint left on the brush, I'm just scrubbing it between where the yellow and the black meet, and that gives my fuzzy out of focus look. Okay, back to my number 2 natural round bristle brush. I'm going to tap this into this light portrait pink with just a little titanium white into it. And by tapping it frays out the bristles, and it gives me all these little tips that I can just now touch onto the canvas. And I'm going to give some of this reflective light from the city lights onto the street here. And I don't want to fuzz these ones out in the foreground because this little bit is going to be in focus. And then as I get further up the painting into my background, I'm just going to start brushing like this and fade those off and show this out of focus as it gets closer to going down into the city like so. Okay, with a little bit of paint left on the brush with this natural round brush here, I'm just going to fade this in and just scrub this over, and it's again just enhances our blurry out of focus look. Okay, now I'm just going to take a little bit of this Cad Red, and I'm just sort of going to tap this off. A little bit of titanium white just to bring it up just a hair. And right here I'm just going to scrub the edge, and this really enhances the out of focus effect with this yellow line with this little red streak going through it right here. Okay, with just a teeny bit of black, I mean hardly any at all, I'm just going to settle back some of those reflective lights that I put in there in the foreground. Okay, and so now again with my number 2 flat brush, I'm going to take the corner and just with permanent black, I'm just going to go and hit just some of the street showing through the yellow line like this. And again, when I get closer to the horizon of the city as it goes into the background, it's going to be more of this brushed on smeared faded look to it to give that out of focus look in the background and keeping everything in the foreground in focus. Okay, so with my script liner brush, lots of water and titanium white, I'm going to go ahead and sign this piece right here. And I want to thank everyone so much for all your support and tuning in. I hope this lesson finds you well and with much success. Totally give this one a shot. This is very easy and a very effective way to do bokeh out of focus, especially with that natural round bristle brush. And anything you don't like, because it's against a black background, this is one of the most forgiving paintings you will probably ever do, because you can always cover anything you don't like and fix anything anytime. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos if you dig my art. And until next time, happy painting everyone.